It's time to lock in. You're here because you're struggling with semen retention, and I have the solution to your problem. But in order for me to deliver that solution, and in order for that solution to be effective, you need to fully lock in. So what you need to do is you need to not only watch this whole video, but you need to actually apply the advice that I give you in this video, because if you apply this advice, not only will you be able to do semen retention successfully, but you'll also be able to supercharge your path to prosperity. That said, if you're struggling with semen retention, the first thing that you need to do is you need to understand the reason why you're struggling. You need to understand the reason why you're struggling. Now, oftentimes people make the mistake of thinking that semen retention is difficult because of lust. And I definitely understand this line of thinking. As a matter of fact, I once thought this as well. I thought that lust was the primary culprit. But what I realized over time is that lust is not the culprit. Lust is simply the middleman for your true issue, which is escapism. You see, you're struggling with semen retention because you're using lust as a form of escapism. And if you're watching this video, it's very likely your primary form of escapism. And the reason why this is so detrimental is because you are preventing yourself from fixing the actual problem that you are trying to escape from. Okay, you're seeking an escape from your current life, and you're using the dopamine rush that acting on lust provides you with to escape the unfavorable situation, the unfavorable reality of your situation. And you're not necessarily wrong in this line of thinking. As a matter of fact, you're much closer to the solution than you think you are. Much, much closer. You see, making an escape from your unfavorable situation is not a bad approach if and only if that escape is permanent. Now, am I telling you to off yourself? Absolutely not. As a matter of fact, I'm telling you to do the exact opposite. Instead of trying to get rid of life altogether, I'm advising you to take control of your life, to take full accountability for your life so that you can live more of it. You can make the most of every single moment and make semen retention a natural consequence, a natural byproduct of you having your life together, so that whenever you do decide to release your seed, whenever that time comes, it will be with the right person. Now, in order to be able to make that permanent escape, you have to understand what you're escaping from. So what are you escaping from? What aspect of your current life, or what aspects, plural, of your current life are you currently trying to escape from? You need to really take self-inventory on what aspects of your life you are dissatisfied with, and instead of trying to distract yourself from those aspects of your life, take full accountability for changing them. Because whether you know it or not, you are the reason why your situation is the way that it is. Your decisions have led you to the outcome that you are currently experiencing. And I know this may be an uncomfortable pill to swallow, but once you do swallow the pill, you'll understand the truth that the decisions that you make today will lead you to new outcomes in the future. So because your past has led you to this current moment, the present will lead you to future moments, more favorable future moments. Now, once you understand the reason why you're struggling, you need to remember the reason why you started. Why did you start your semen retention journey? Why did you start? You didn't just start for the sake of retaining just to retain. No, there was some sort of extraneous benefit or multiple extraneous benefits that you sold yourself on before starting this journey. You need to keep those benefits in the forefront of your mind. You need to keep them in the forefront of your mind, and you need to sell yourself on them every single day. I'm going to give you a little business game right now. This can make you rich, by the way, if you apply it properly. Whenever you're selling something, you're never selling the thing. You're never selling the process. You are always selling the outcome. And selling yourself on something is no exception to this rule. You need to sell yourself on the outcome of this practice. The practice of semen retention in this case, or any other self-improvement practice that you implement into your life. you need to remember why you started. What was the dream desired outcome of the action that you're taking, or in this case, not taking? You need to keep that in the forefront of your mind, and every single day, keep the feedback loop going into perpetuity. Keep the feedback loop going so that you have unlimited motivation for your semen retention journey, but not only that, for every other self-improvement practice that you implement moving forward. The most dangerous question that you'll ever ask yourself is, what's the point? Because whenever you ask yourself, what's the point, it more often than not means that you have lost sight of your why. You no longer know why you're doing what you're doing, and because of that, you will be disincentivized from actually doing it, or in this case, not doing it. And you will succumb to temptation every single time because, again, it is simply a projection of a natural phenomenon, one that will never leave you for as long as you're a young, healthy man. Bearing that in mind, you need to have something that means more to you than instant gratification. That's pretty much the whole point of not just semen retention, but self-improvement as a whole, is you have to be able to forego instant gratification for delayed long-term gratification that will be much more fulfilling. Whenever you ask yourself, what's the point, which is often the initial dialogue that leads to a relapse, you need to have an answer to that question. You need to have an answer to that question. Another way of phrasing this is, what are you escaping to? You see, earlier when we established the reason for you having undertaken this journey in the first place, we thought about what you were escaping from. We established that you are escaping from your current situation. But if you don't know what you're escaping to, you're never going to escape your current situation. So you need to establish the life that you would prefer to live over the life that you're currently living. In other words, you need to have a push factor and a pull factor. The push factor being your dissatisfaction with your current life, and the pull factor being a perceived satisfaction with a projection that you have created for yourself, a projection based on your core desires. Now, once you know what you want in life, you need to systemize your progress. You need to systemize your progress. You need to reverse engineer the steps that it will take you to get to where you want to go, to get from where you are to where you want to go. Because again, it starts with understanding and acknowledging and accepting where you are so that you can then have a good sense of direction for where you want to go and how you're going to get there. Because if you were going to set a destination on the GPS and have a route to get to that destination, but you don't know where your starting point is, you're never going to get to the destination because the route is irrelevant because you don't even know where you are. Therefore, you don't know what you need to do to get there. So you need to systemize and reverse engineer your progress by implementing daily habits, daily routines and rituals that all but guarantee that you will achieve the life that you desire. And once you do that, retention, working out, meditating, any other self-improvement practice will become automatic. Literally, it will become automatic. Now, if you don't know what routines and rituals to implement in order to get to your desired destination, I'll give you one right now. Reading books. Reading books. When you start reading books, you acquire new information that you didn't know that you didn't know. You see, the most dangerous form of ignorance is not willful ignorance. It's ignorance that comes from you not even knowing what information to seek out in the first place. I know this from first-hand experience. A big part of why I made the mistakes that I made when I was younger, if you were around during that time, then you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, feel free to go back and look at my old videos and you'll see what I'm talking about. A big part of the reason why I made those mistakes is because I didn't know what I didn't know. Therefore, I didn't know what information to go looking for. But through reading books and life experience, I was able to find the information that I didn't even know I was missing in the first place. So reading books is probably one of the most productive, if not the most productive, self-improvement habits that you can implement into your life. And if you don't know what books to read, I'll give you one right now. As a matter of fact, it was written by yours truly, and not only that, but I want to give it to you for free $99. And that is my free PMO Relapse Recovery Guide ebook. I wrote the ebook specifically for young men ages 18 to 24 who are in your situation, who are struggling with PMO addiction, or are struggling to retain their seed, if you will, and don't know how to escape the pits and the prison of PMO addiction. If that's something that you're interested in, which I know you are because you're watching this video, click the link in the description and get the free ebook to Leave Your Lust in the Dust in 15 minutes. Click the link and get the book for free before I come to my senses and start charging the money that it's actually worth.